Well, hello everybody. Um, Thanks for joining me. I'm really sorry that it's under these circumstances. I just got done uploading. I was actually in the middle of uploading my Zilla Cab review, and a friend of mine, Aaron Lucas, messaged me, and I just saw the caption that just said, I hate 2020 or something like that. And I opened up the message, and there's Eddie Van Halen's picture there with uh, R.I.P. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me! Like this has to be a hoax, you know. Not that he would do that to me, but that's just the first thing you think. Like I haven't heard. I've heard that he's struggled with cancer and it's been up and down, but it's like you don't know how much hyperbole there is out there in the internet and the news and everything. And then of course, I checked several sites and it's true, and it's very sad. And my condolences to um, Eddie's family and friends, and the people that are closest to him. Obviously, his son, Wolfie. You know, um, yeah, it's just a very very sad moment, very sad day. I'm still kind of processing it. It's tough. I grew up listening to every single thing that he did. One of the things that I learned as a kid is I had some friends that played guitar and they were older than me, and one of the things that they told me is, because I was like, well, how do I advance myself? What's the best thing I should do? And they said, learn Van Halen 1. If you can learn that album, you can pretty much play anything. Learn the whole album. And I never did, obviously, but I did my best and I learned a lot. Um, you know, uh, I watched when Sammy joined the band. I watched Live Without a Net probably 100 times, um, and I dreamed of one day, sitting, like he did on the steps, smoking a cigarette, sticking it up in the string that's hanging out of the peg, and blowing the rings, and doing eruption, and running all over that stage, and you know, playing his ass off. And I wanted to be that so bad. I wanted to be that guy. I even tried to emulate the jumps and all that stuff. Um and it was really really cool, like trying to learn anything that he did, even the Panama harmonics. I mean, when I got that down, I thought I was like on my way to stardom, I mean, all that stuff. I mean, just I was just talking to Jamie Trevino about this. He just called before I went live, and we had a quick chat about it. And thanks for your insight, Jamie. I mean, the thing is like Eddie's given he's given us players so much. I mean, the riffs, the techniques, the concepts. I mean, like what Jamie was saying. Like, I mean, Eruption, and then he went from that to Cathedral, and then from that to Mean Street with the tapping harmonics and all the crazy stuff. And it was just like the stuff that he gave us, the springboards that he let us all jump off of to become whatever we want to be, off of like what we learned from that. We took it to new heights, and he was always reinventing the wheel and saying, "All right, guys, here you go," and just handing it to everybody. And not only that, but the music. I mean, the crazy stuff he did in the songs. I always said that Eddie was one of the best rhythm players out there. Everybody talked about the tapping and the solos, but I honestly I enjoyed that, but I also thought the rhythms were like, it's like, why isn't anybody talking about that? Like the rhythms that he played are, they're just amazing. There's still to this day people trying to play that stuff, I mean, it's insane. And then not only that, but the gear. I mean, the amps, the guitars, the pedals, and how he used them. I mean, without a 5150 amp, metal would not sound like it does today. It just wouldn't. That voicing, that tone, that saturation, that aggressive sound that big old tank gave us is just, it's iconic. And it still holds true today. It still does. It still sounds amazing today. It's still just as usable and just as iconic as it ever was. Yeah, they've come a long way, but just like his playing, all of his gear has grown and evolved as well and become better and more usable and more amazing and just, I mean, it's just, it's incredible, and the stuff that I have learned because Eddie Van Halen graced the stage and graced my ears with all of the stuff that he played and came up with over the last, I don't know how many years. I'm the player I am today uh, because of Eddie Van Halen and all of the things that he did so long ago. And you know, I have other influences as well, but Eddie Van Halen was the biggest springboard that I had when I was a kid. I mean, the stuff that he played is what I incorporated into my playing. It's in my guitar player DNA now forever, and it's sad that he's gone. It really is. And cancer, screw you, you know, it's just sad. But, you know, uh one of the things that we can take with us is Eddie Van Halen was he donated he filled out his soul donator card a long time ago. And we get to carry a piece of his soul with us wherever we go. Every time we practice, every time we write something, every time we hit the stage, we go in the studio. Eddie Van Halen's heart is beating in every single note that we play. And and he lives on through our music and through the things that inspire us and the music that we play, songs that we write, the riffs that we all tried to steal from him but still couldn't play the way he did. But part of his soul is there. So, uh, all I can say is, you know, thank you, Eddie Van Halen, for what you brought to the music industry, what you brought to gear, the guitar players, this skinny 14-year-old kid with a mullet who just wanted to be like you and who wanted to play all the stuff that you did and learned so much from you. And there's still skinny 14-year-old kids all over the world still trying to figure out your stuff, man. You left us an amazing puzzle that will take an eternity to solve. But it's the most intriguing, the most fascinating, the most inspiring puzzle we could have ever been given. And we appreciate that very much. and I'll never forget you. I'll never forget like what it meant to me to hear Cathedral for the first time at my buddy Henry's house. And he played it, and I'm like, that's not a guitar, that's a keyboard. And we had this like funny, friendly argument over it. And he's like, no, dude, that's his guitar. And then I saw him do it live, and I'm like, you got to be freaking kidding me. He did things that weren't supposed to be possible on this instrument here. He made it sound like zoo animals. I mean, he did all kinds of crazy things with the guitar, and it just inspired the living hell out of everybody. And I'll never forget it. I'll never ever forget it. And every time I pick up my guitar, I can't forget it because I'm reminded of him because of the riffs that he unknowingly taught me through all the albums and the live shows that he did and everything else. I never got a chance to see him live. I wish I would have. Um, but I did see plenty of live, DVDs and VHS tapes. And I was like a dry sponge, just soaking it up every time I watched him play when I was younger. I was like, oh my God, how did he do that? I probably wore out VCRs back when I was a kid, rewinding, playing, pausing, and trying to figure out what he did. You know, and I just I'm just blown away, and this hit me pretty hard. I don't know him. I'm not going to try to be one of those, I never met him or anything. But I obviously, but I'm just saying, like, I've never met the guy, and it hit me pretty hard. And I'm sure it's hitting you too. And it's okay because, like I said, you have a piece of Eddie's soul in you, in your playing, in you as a guitar player. It's there. And that's why you hurt. That's why you feel it. Because you have a part of him that he donated to you, whether you know it or not. It's there, and that's why you feel the way you do. So just go with it, you know? Go write something amazing and be inspired by it, and let his spirit live through your music too. Because that's what it is, right? That's what we're supposed to be doing here. It's leaving a legacy behind and leaving a piece of our soul for other people to carry with them everywhere they go. As musicians, that's what we do. And never take for granted the ability to lay down some awesome music and play those riffs and put it out there, because that's what you're doing too. Whether you're famous or not, that stuff matters. You matter. What you play matters. What you have to say through this instrument right here matters. It's a piece of your soul that you leave out there for other people. So, the best way to honor him and those like him is to carry that piece of his soul with you everywhere you go and apply it to your music and never take it for granted, and treat every day literally as a gift, because obviously it is, right? We never know when our time is up. And when it comes, you better hope that you did everything you could. You left it all out on the field. You have no regrets. So once again, uh, fly high, Eddie. Thank you so much for what you meant to me and what you meant to billions, billions, zillions of people around the world, and what you will continue to mean to them for a very, very, very long time. As long as this world is spinning, you're going to mean something to people. And I very much appreciate what I've learned uh, from Eddie Van Halen and what it's meant to me in my playing. And it's weird. I'll never be able to. It's one of those things like you take for granted, right? Like every day, it's just it's another day, a little coffee and guitar, and off to work, or whatever, and you don't think about it. But um, it's times like this where it reminds you to really appreciate those things and to never forget, that these people that are greats like Eddie Van Halen and others like him, there's things that they leave for us and do for us, and we should never ever take that for granted. And you know, I'm guilty of it, but I'll never do it again. I'll never be able to pick up my instrument again and not feel that and not think that. And every once in a while, if and when I nail one of his riffs, I'll have that smirk on my face, like, yep, I finally got it. Thank you. So, um, I've been working today on getting videos done, and I was getting ready to go to the gym. Well, after I was gonna upload that video, so I'm dressed, kind of crappy right now for the gym, but I apologize for that. But I just wanted to go live and thank him and pay tribute to Eddie Van Halen and thank him for all he's done for us. I'm going to read a few comments and I got to get off here. I got to get to work. I have to work tonight. So, and let me this off here. Oh, God. Um, Scott Fulmar, Paul Smith, Aaron Short, Return Dakota, David Walls, what's happening, buddy? Aluminum Fetish, The Law, what's up, man? Trouser Snake, what's happening? He's the reason I picked up the guitar at 13. You're right, man. He was it for me. I mean, he was definitely one of those guys that I was just like, I want to be that. I do. Chad Boston, thank you so much. He said, cancer sucks. I know too many who have died from cancer. Much love. Yeah, it's sad. You know, Dave Walls says he's the biggest reason why I wanted to learn guitar. He's the biggest reason, I think. I think that 99.9% of the people on this planet would say that. If he's not in your DNA as a guitar player, you're lying. I mean, I don't care if you play country, jazz, funk, doesn't matter. Metal, death metal, he's in there. He's done all that stuff, and all that stuff has been stolen from him and placed in all these different areas. He's given us so much, and I really appreciate it. Um, Wolf Moon Shadows is really sad. Eddie was an idol. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, Steve Evenchek, thanks for going live. It's a great tribute. He was clearly an icon. You're welcome. I mean, I literally I did this just for Eddie, just to go live and pay tribute to him, and I very much appreciate what he's done for the industry. I mean, and for music in general. I mean, just an amazing player. You know, um, Jim. Sorry, I can't read. Man, so hard to believe. I had heard he was sick, and you never know. Impossible to explain how huge he was. Yeah, it is. It's impossible. Warm Cord, what's up, man? Tough day, he said. Yeah, the last thing he gave us was the 50-watt stealth. Right there, guys. Right there. That's a piece of history now. I mean, it was anyway, but now it's like I'm so glad I own this amp. Every time you know, I hear it. I'm gonna hear Eddie Van Halen's spirit, coming out of that thing. I mean, that's amazing what he's done for us and what, everything. It's just amazing, you know. Aaron Lucas, thanks for the tribute. You're speaking the truth. Love you, bro. He says, thank you. Piece of my youth is gone, Russell says. Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, you know, but we're trading it for a piece of his soul, right? So we can carry it with us. I mean, I wish I didn't have to work tonight. I'm so mad. I want to take the night off so bad, but I can't, and I want to hook up my EVH, get about 6 beers in me, and just sit down here and just play. but I can't, you know. But yeah, I'm just thrown. I'm blown away right now. It's just sad. I mean, there was all these rumors. Are they going to tour again? Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Dave and Sammy? Are they going to split it up? Are they going to both do it? Or they just one or the other? And there's all this stuff, and I've been waiting because I was like, I'm going to the next one. I don't care. I really don't care who he's playing with. I just want to be there. I want to see Eddie Van Halen live because I don't know when the next time I'll be able to do that. And I guess I'll have to wait a long time for that. You know, and I don't know. I hope that there's a big stage up there waiting for him with a wall of stelts, every guitar, and they're like, "We've been waiting for you, man. We've been waiting to have our concert up here. First order of business is get on that stage and start playing for us, man." You know, if I was God, that's what I'd be saying. You have work to do. You thought you were done? You're just getting started. Oh, God. Oh, man. Michael, what's up, man? Mazalski says, thank you for doing that, Jared. So profoundly saddened to hear the terrible news. Me too, man. Thank you. I didn't expect it to hit me the way it did, because, like I said, I don't know him. I've never met him. I mean, I'm a huge fan, but I mean, I've never met the guy. So it's weird. Like when people that you've never met, but they're well known, pass on, and it hits you, and you're just like, why is this hitting me so hard? Like this is out of nowhere. I expected to be bummed out about it. I mean, if any, like there's lots of people that I follow and look up to, and I always expect to be bummed out, like, oh, that sucks, and I feel for their family and them and their whatever brought them to their end and all that. I feel for that, but I usually don't expect it to hit me emotionally as hard as it does, and this one got me. I had to really I had to kind of really try hard to compose myself before I went live because I was like, I don't want to just sit there here like a blubbering idiot while I'm on a live stream. But it's hard. It really is. It's hard to contain how I feel about it because, like I said, there's a piece of him in all of us, and I'm sure all of us are going to feel it today. It's a heavy, heavy, heavy day, you know. And like I said, I mean, it's just so unexpected out of nowhere. I mean, here I am minding my own business uploading a video and I get a text and I'm like, "What? Like you have got to be freaking kidding me." Like this is just out of nowhere. Anyways, I'll be on just for a couple more minutes. I have to get to work and I don't mean it sound like that, but I mean I have to work tonight. And I just wanted to get on here and just talk to you guys and just pay tribute because he deserves it. He deserves every kind word that's ever said about him on the internet, ever. I mean, like all of us, we've all had our ups and downs and our struggles. Um, but I think he's had way more ups than downs, and I got to give the guy some huge props after, being as well known as he is and going through different things in life as he has publicly. I definitely am going to remember him for all the stuff that he given us because that greatly outweighs um, anything else. I mean, it's just an amazing, amazing guy, amazing dude, amazing dad, amazing musician, great guy, all around guy. A lot of people said that he was very kind to them when they met him. In fact, Marty, the owner of Motor City Guitar, got to meet him once, and he said Eddie walked up and gave him a huge bear hug, and he never met him before. Just gave him a huge bear hug, and he was with Dave Friedman. Dave was tuning up one of his amps before they went. Yeah, it was at a show. I think it was the 2007, 2008 tour. And yeah, he said Eddie was just kind as can be, just very loving and kind, and glad to see him. And he met Wolfie, and I mean, it was just amazing. So, uh, you know, just oh my God, I can't believe it. I can't freaking believe it. Samuel Castro, Eddie Van Halen, always love you. Goodbye, my master. God bless you. Yeah. Yep. Steve Venchek, make the show tomorrow about Eddie and the EVH. I'll have to see what I could do. It's a definitely a good thought. I honestly I had this all set up for tomorrow, and I'm like really like I can't even make a decision right now what I'm going to do tomorrow because I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't know what to do. I even thought about not going live today because it's like I don't want people to think that I'm trying to. Oh, you're just trying to get clicks. No, the guy I freaking love Eddie Van Halen. He was a huge part of my life. As a player, I mean, seriously, like I even I used to smoke when I was a kid, and I used to stick my cigarette up here just like he did. You know, and just all that stuff. I mean, I was a huge fan. I mean, I was all about him. Um, so I mean, but I just wanted to pay tribute. I just honestly just want to pay tribute to the guy because he deserves it. You know, Dave Cassidy. It's hard to quantify the loss and how it affects us. Like you said, you didn't know him personally, but we all connected with Eddie and owe him so much. You're right, dude. You're right. I mean, it's just insane how much we owe that guy. I mean, think about, all right, let me just say this. Think about a world without Eddie Van Halen. Like, if he never was here. If Eddie Van Halen was never here, think about that for a second. What a black freaking hole that would be in our music. Take away at least 50% of the stuff that you do. Strip it away. You can't play that stuff now because it never existed. Think about that for a second. Where would we be without Eddie Van Halen? As players, as musicians, as performers, as recording artists, as people that love gear like we all do, right? I mean, this wouldn't be here. And all the tones on all the albums that we've heard ever since the 5150, that big lumbering tank came out so many years ago, wouldn't be on the albums. And all of the offspring from that amplifier would not be here. It just wouldn't. We wouldn't have any of that stuff. We wouldn't have the Frankenstein guitars. We wouldn't have all the tinkering, weird crap. That guy was a mad scientist. He'd come up from the basement with his hair on fire and no sleep for 3 days with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth that burned out 3 hours ago and be like, yeah, I built this guitar and it's like it's got wires and crap hanging out of it and it looked like a freaking mess, but it played amazing and it did cool stuff. And he did the same thing with amps. He did the same thing with all his gear. And that's what brought us to where we're at today with all the gear that we play because of Eddie Van Halen. All of it's because of him. All of it. All of the amps, the tones, the offspring. Good luck, and Jamie was saying this to me today too. Good luck finding the brown sound. People still chase it, and we still can't get it. There's got to be like the Colonel's secret recipe buried somewhere. What made that amp sound like it did. I mean, he's the same guy that literally exploded an amplifier in the studio after he played Mean Street. The intro to that. It just exploded. So it blew up in the studio. That's who Eddie Van Halen was. He pushed everything beyond its limits. And then made something that could handle those limits, and then he'd push that beyond its limits, and you have to make something that would handle those limits. And that's how all the amps got built. They didn't get built because I just wanted it to sound different. They got built because he drop kicked the damn thing against the wall so hard it exploded. And he wanted something that he could do that to, and it wouldn't happen. He scared the crap out of the guys at Fender. They're like, yeah, we want to work with you. Build an amp. They got done with the first few meetings with him. We're like, holy crap, we bit off more than we could chew. This guy's freaking nuts. I mean, the stuff that he wants these amps to do is just crazy. He's cranking them all the way up and leaving them on for a weekend. Everybody's calling me today, and I appreciate it, but I'm live. But, I mean, and comes back after the weekend. He says, if that thing survives, I guess it passes the test. I mean, that's who Eddie Van Halen was. And it's because of that our gear is as amazing as it is today. It's because of that, because of him that our playing. Who's going to invent tapping? Who's going to invent the tapped harmonics and the volume knob swells with Cathedral and just all the feedback and the crazy stuff? I mean, I'm a big proponent of Ride the Lightning. And Eddie Van Halen taught me that, unbeknownst to him, but he did. I always wanted to get amplifiers just screaming at me, and I wanted to learn how to wield that power. And like, some people are afraid, oh, it's too much for me. I'm like, really, dude? I can ride this thing all day. I want to wield it like Thor's hammer, man. I mean, you just got to know how to do it. And I learned how to harness that power. Not as good as him, obviously, but as good as I can. And I enjoyed the journey, and I'm still on it, and thank God for that. You know, but I got to do that because of Eddie Van Halen. All of that stuff's possible. All of it. So we owe him big time. We owe Eddie Van Halen everything. We owe it to him to continue his legacy and to push ourselves as hard as he pushed his gear. Because he pushed himself that hard as well, and that's what made him amazing. Watch Live Without a Net. If you're not a believer after that, you're freaking nuts. And that was back in the 80s, man. It was like 86, 87. I mean, he played his ass off on that freaking show. Holy crap. 20-minute guitar solo? Are you kidding me? Who does that? Eddie Van Halen does. You know? So, carry on the legacy. Enjoy the gear. And for those of you who are out there that feel like it's not working out, I want to give up, I just don't know, if this is for me or whatever. Don't quit, man. Don't quit. Because someday it really will be over for you, and you're going to wish you had never quit. I've been there. I've felt that way. Don't do it. Pick up your guitar. Stop bitching. Stop whining and get to work. Play. Learn. Practice. Shred. Ride the lightning. Beat the shit out of your amp. Let your amp beat the shit out of you. Drop kick that damn thing against the wall and see what it's got. Drop kick yourself against the wall and see what you got. That's what this is about. Push yourself. Don't get comfortable. Stop being comfortable. Push yourself beyond your comfort zone and become better, because that's the example that he set for us. That's what we're supposed to do. And I'll tell you what, man, I've made excuses for why I don't get things done. And this whole thing today has lit a fire under my ass so hot. I mean, no more excuses, man. Just get it done. Because tomorrow is promised to no one. You just got to get out there and put in the work, man. And just carry on that tribute to him every day and carry his spirit with you everywhere you go and the piece of his soul that he gave to all of us. It's our job now and our responsibility to carry that with us and incorporate it into our playing. He's part of your DNA, whether you know it or not. He's there. So give it everything you got, man. We got no excuses. He sure as hell didn't use any. Well, I appreciate you guys being here. Unfortunately, I really do have to get out of here. I have to close this down and go to work. But, thank you very much. I'm sorry I couldn't get to all your comments. I very much apologize, but I just can't right now. But yes, again, I apologize I can't read all your comments because I really do have to shut this down and get to work. But God bless you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Eddie Van Halen, for everything. I can't even name it all. Thank you so much for just freaking everything. I promise I will do my best to take care of that piece of soul that you left with me, and I'm sure everybody watching will as well. So, thank you guys. God bless you. And I mean this when I say it. I say it all the time, but I mean it. Every day is a gift. So cherish today, cherish tomorrow, cherish them all, as we never know when our time is coming. So thank you so much, guys, for being here and spending part of your gift with me. I appreciate it very much. And I'm going live tomorrow night with something, but I don't want to even make this live stream about that right now. But I look forward to seeing you guys soon. God bless every single one of you. God bless Eddie Van Halen and his family and his loved ones and his friends. You guys all take care. I love you all.